Good morning / afternoon to everybody watching. My name is Jennifer Dixon. I am with Thrive Yoga and Wellness. And you might be thinking, this is a little odd. Why is her yoga mat rolled up over there? And she's in this big comfy chair. So today I thought I would just do a really quick video and chat with you a little bit about some stretches you can do from home. So we've noticed and we've had a lot of feedback, folks having company coming in. Some people are bringing their company into the studio. Some people are like, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have company coming. They're not going to come to the studio with me. And so what I thought I would do would be to give you some really quick video ideas, poses that you can do from the comfort of your own home. So I've got just a plain old recliner, and you can use this in a recliner. You could do some of these stretches on the footstool of your recliner. You can use combos even of both, and what it can help you to do is to help you to just stretch and move and hopefully relieve a little bit of the stress that comes when you have family come to visit, or if you go to visit your family, because we do tend to hold, and the more stressful we are, we kind of tense up and we hold that in our bodies. And so if you can't make it to the studio, I welcome you to just check out a couple of these stretches. Hold them for as long as you'd like. If you want to just hold them for like 5 breaths, hold them for 5 breaths. If you want to get in here and hold them for a couple of minutes like you would in a yin class, that's also acceptable. All these are helping you to do is just to get in here and move and feel good while you may or may not be in a stressful situation. No judgment. We all have extended families, right? So the first thing we're going to do is a nice little hip opener. So you're just going to sit. You can sit on a footstool, or you can sit in your recliner. You can sit on your couch. You can even do this stretch in the morning when you're putting on your shoes. So I'm going to move the footstool out of the way for just this one part of the video. And so if you notice, I'm sitting a little forward in the chair. If you sit back in the chair, you can do this, but it might not be as effective. And let's just be honest, if you're sitting back, how motivated are you going to be, right, to get into the stretch? So I'm sitting forward into the front part of the seat. And so just basically my bottom is on the seat and my back is straight and my belly's in. So what you're going to want to do is plant down that left foot really firmly, pick up that right foot and just cross it. Here we are, believe it or not, this is like your pigeon pose. This is the stretch that you'd get in a yin or a flow class where you're really helping to open up that piriformis muscle and that going up and along the side of that right hip flexor. You might also feel this in the right inner thigh. Now check out this right foot. It's flexed, right? That's going to protect the knee. When you have it pointed, you might not have enough energy throughout this region to protect the knee. So try to encourage that right knee, that right foot to be flexed. Now, this might be a little bit challenging. You might really need to back out of this and hang out a little bit more like back here, because this can be an intense stretch, especially if your hips are tight. But if you're like me with a slightly more open hip, the way that you can intensify this, did you guys notice I was leaning forward? So this is kind of like when you're in the yoga class and you're in your pigeon and you cascade forward to let your chest and your head rest on the mat. This is the way you do that in your chair. And you will feel this stretching along the outside of that right leg. How long you hang out here? I mean, just have a conversation with your great Aunt Gertrude. I mean, it's not hurting her and you're just getting a little bit of stretch too. Let's do the other side. So to come out, be real mindful. You can use your hands to come out of this. If you're really open, you don't have to be as mindful. Well, I should always say be mindful. But if you're a little bit tight, go ahead and use your hands to hold yourself up there. Now, did you see how I kind of helped pick my knee up on the left side, grabbed hold of my foot, and then I let my leg come down. My left leg is resting on my right quad just above the ankle. If you put it on the ankle, that can be a little bit uncomfortable, so I like to go above the ankle. And remember, you want to keep this left foot engaged, just like if you were in your yoga class practicing your pigeon pose. So we've got left foot engaged, hanging out here on the front of our chairs. Belly, you want it to kind of be up. Try not to sag too much, even though we're comfortable and we're at home. We kind of want to keep good posture. And remember, if this is too intense, you can recline back into this nice chair, and that takes some of the pressure off of the outside of that left hip. If it's not intense enough, bring yourself forward into your nice lazy boy chair. No endorsement here. And lean forward. And then again, you just hold this. and you just breathe. Maybe you have a conversation this time with your uncle. I don't know. You're just breathing and trying to relax and get some of that stress and that tension that you're holding into these major muscle groups. All right. So for our next stretch, we're going to focus a little bit more on the back sides of the legs. And this is where you can bring in a footstool. You don't have to, but we're going to pretend, you know, the seated forward fold that you do when you're on the ground and you fold forward. You can do that exact same thing in your chair. So I'm going to bring both of my feet up onto my footstool and make sure you've got enough of your bottom onto your chair that you don't fall out. I'm moving this chair, the footstool forward some, because if it's too close to the ankles, then that's not supporting the backs of the knees too much, and that just doesn't feel good. Not exactly the safest thing. So you want to have that footstool closer up a little bit more, more so under the calves, closer to the knees. And guess what? This could be a stretch. Like if you've got tight hamstrings, if you've been flying all day, that stuff is tight. This could be a stretch. So the way that you come out of this a little bit is you just lean back. Not quite as much of a stretch, right? But if you want to intensify it, lean forward just like we would in a yoga class. Here we are in a modified Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. You intensify this by, oh, look, you can grab your toes. You can grab your feet and try to make them flat. If you're feeling really froggy, you can try to bind around it. Your family might think you're weird if you're doing that in the room with them. But it's still a nice, great stretch for the back side of your leg, and you might even feel this in the low back, stretching the low back. You don't want to look up too terribly much because that can be really wonky on the neck. So if you're looking sort of down towards your legs, remembering that you want to have your neck and back all in alignment, that'll help protect your neck so you won't feel something tomorrow in the neck. So guess what? You can do the exact same pigeon stretch with your leg extended up here, and that can, looky there, make you have a little bit of a hamstring stretch on the left and a hip opening on the right. So it's kind of like a double whammy. So we're getting to do the same stretch on the hips, but including the hamstrings when your foot is up on the footstool. Who'd have thought, right? So another fun thing that you can do, oh, well, let me demonstrate it first without the footstool. I apologize. Having your feet out just in front of you, and then you lean over onto your legs. If you point your toes, it's a nice stretch for the front of your feet. And if you flex your toes, it's a nice stretch for the backs of your legs. But yogi's choice. So you're getting the same stretch if you don't have a footstool. I'm going to come back to my footstool. So do you remember cobbler's pose in your yin classes or your Baddha Konasana in flow classes? You can do that exact same pose in your chair. So here I have my footstool with my feet opening with my feet like a book. And if you notice, I've pulled this footstool in a whole bunch. And now if you have arms on your chair, your legs can rest on the arms and you can lean forward to intensify the stretch. This might elicit a few strange looks from family members if you do this in the middle of the Christmas party. But if you know you're at home and kids are all running around, this could be a great way to get in a nice stretch, inner thighs and the outsides of your hips. This is your Baddha Konasana assisted by a chair. Hold that as long as you'd like. Now, let's do a chair cat-cow. This is really great if it's early in the morning, there's like chaos everywhere, and you're trying to drink your coffee and just wake the mess up. I do this quite regularly while my kids are running around. You just make sure that you're sitting up straight, your feet are flat on the ground. You can bring your hands to your knees, and then you inhale, bring your chest forward, and you exhale, round through the spine. So this is that cat-cow we normally do on our hands and knees, but here we are in a nice comfy chair. And remember, we're sitting a little bit forward in the chair. If you're sitting way far back in the chair, it's really hard to kind of round and press forward. So guess what? You can do this in the car when you're driving to grandma's house. You can even do this while you're driving. If you've got hold of the wheel, you can do this forward and backwards motion and still stay safe. Nice. So, and now if you'd like to twist it, here you can have an armrest on your chair or not, grabbing towards the side of the chair or the back of the chair. You can use your right hand grabbing the right side of the chair, left hand's grabbing the outside of that right knee, and then you just look over that right shoulder. Keep the belly in. And then let's get to the other side. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand to the outside of that left chair, and you look over that left shoulder. You can do this if you're the passenger. I wouldn't really suggest this in a car if you're driving, especially in heavy traffic. Although I will admit I've done some of this when I used to drive back and forth from New Jersey. I was doing all sorts of yoga in the car. All right, so now let's do a really nice and gentle stretch for the upper body. So we've done this in a yoga class, right? When you go and you bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching that left side of the neck and the shoulder. If you want to intensify it, you can bring your left arm around and behind you, or you can hold on to the left side of your chair. Ooh, I got a little bit of an adjustment. Coming up, and let's grab the right side of the chair, or grab the right hand around behind you and bring the left ear to your left shoulder. Now we're going to do one heart opener, like a back bend, just like if we were in a yoga class. So you can do this in your chair even. If you've got armrest, you just grab hold of the armrest wherever you can reach. So I know I've got a pretty open back bend, so I can grab further back. But if you're a little bit newer, or it's really cold and it's early, you might just be grabbing the sides. So I'm going to reach back, and maybe I can even reach the back of the chair. And now if you noticed, I brought my feet a little bit closer in. You don't have to do that. That just kind of helps to intensify things. You can leave your feet flat on the mat. And then you just pull against your hands, holding onto the side of the chair, pressing that chest forward. If it feels okay to your neck, you can look forward. Keep that belly in. That's key for all poses, but especially back bends. And there you have it. We've been, maybe 5 minutes, and we've gotten a nice full range of motion in our hips and our back, a nice twist, a little bit of shoulder stretching, and guess what? You are opening up your body, relieving some stress, even though you didn't make it to the yoga studio or you couldn't get your mat out that day. I hope you had a little bit of fun doing some really small, quick holiday stretches with me, and I can't wait to see you on the mat very soon or in the studio. Again, my name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness. We're located in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and if you are not in our area, or if you're traveling for the holidays, make sure that you like and follow our YouTube channel. And if you like it even more, come and find us at thriveyogaandwellness.com/thrive-online, where we offer some online yoga classes specifically to help you get stronger, gain some stability, and strengthen the core and the upper body. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Namaste.